Going perfect. All right, so here we go. You guys know how this video works. If you're new to this channel, it's very simple. When I go live to answer questions, it's usually on Mondays and Thursdays, but I'm looking at doing Wednesdays and Fridays. And the reason why is that Mondays are a bitch. They are super tough for me because I literally do phone calls until usually 10, 11 p.m. at night. That's how, unfortunately, busy the law firm has been. And then Thursdays are rough because I'm just kind of tired. Fridays are usually a little bit better because I have a break. Like I get a little bit more space in between Wednesdays when I go to the home office and do other stuff. The rules are simple. You get about 5 to 7 minutes of free consultation with the disability attorney where I just answer questions. It's not super deep information because I don't know your exact claim details, but we go a little bit deep. I don't know your whole story, your background. So remember, there could be things that change the answer, but for the most part, we consistently get it pretty darn close every time. With that said, please remember 5 to 7 minutes. When you call in, use a fake name. Don't use your real name. The phone number to call in is 407-279-1754. Again, 407-279-1754. I'm going to put it in the chat section right now. And basically, here's the deal. No question stacking. You get like 1 or 2 questions, but no, hey, I got another question. Hey, I got another. None of that. Also, with that said, please have your legal question ready right when you call in. No story mode. I'm going to go ahead and basically look at the chat section while we're waiting for the first callers to come in and see essentially if there are any questions in there for me yet and ready to go. Let's check it out real quick. I'm just looking for basically responses here. Let me see what we got. Okay, no questions so far. Now, keep in mind, I don't normally go live in the morning, and I have to be careful with this live because we're also getting into when the law firm normally goes basically, live. It opens at basically 9. It's 8:53 a.m. right now on January 17th. So bottom line is this. We're going to wait for the first caller. If the first caller doesn't call in within, let's say, 20, 30 seconds, then I'm just going to actually end this video and go straight to the next one, which is where we get to see the Republicans and Democrats really going at each other when it comes to, the future of the Social Security Administration's program. Now, with that said, I'm just looking to see anybody calling in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, normally we have tons of people calling in, but they don't know I'm going live right now. That's the kicker. It's early and they're not really aware of that. So we're going to wait. Now, if you guys have any chat section questions, go ahead. This is your shot. This is your chance. Put it in the chat section right over here. Let me see it. Let me check it out. That way I can see what's going on. So let's see. I've got questions. It's ironic. There's literally YouTube right now. People are posting questions in other videos. They don't know that I'm live right now to answer questions. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to go ahead and count it down again. So you've got 20 seconds to call in before I go to the next video, and we basically show the Republicans and Democrats going at it. Okay. Here's the first call. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kim, and I have been working my entire life. So I've been paying taxes since I was 16, sure. And I'm now in my 50s. I have issues with a lot of arthritis in my back. I have MRIs, I've had shots, I've had everything, but I'm currently working because I'm too scared not to.
Sure.
And I don't know how, is there a way to verify, because when I've looked at what the rules are for, my specific condition, it looks like I meet the criteria, but I'm still scared. I don't know where to go with this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you're saying is, what elements do you meet? Do you meet them well enough to likely be found disabled? And then if you can be found disabled, what do you do with your job?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I'm stuck.
Okay, so give me some background here. What is the listing level criteria that you're looking at? What are your top 5 impairments?
So I was looking at I don't have the information right in front of me, but it was the for the back, the muscular.
Okay, so 1.0 is musculoskeletals? Yeah.
1 point, yes. And then the issues that I have is I have arthritis mostly in the bottom of my back. I have degeneration. I'm also a cancer survivor, and I think that the chemotherapy also did away with a lot of my bone.
Okay.
And I've tried doing injections, and I use heating. I have to use a cane often. due to the pain. And the jobs that I've always had have been where I'm sedentary, and so I'm sitting 10 to 12 hours a day, and all of that has just made it worse. And I've tried to find another job that would, maybe if I'm moving around more, but that doesn't seem to help at all. It seems like my disc slip. Like if I'm moving too much, there's certain movements that I can't do. So I'm kind of just like in this stuck state where I'm having a really hard time working, but I don't know what else to do. And I've looked at all the criteria. I've got the MRI proof. I've got the doctor's history. And I've done everything they've asked, physical therapy, everything that they've told me to do. I've tried everything because obviously I don't want to not be able to work.
Right.
I just don't know where else. Yeah, I just can't anymore. I don't know, but I am. I'm currently working. I'm pushing through it every day, but so I'm stuck. I just don't want to pull the trigger, and then they say to me, "No, you don't qualify." But so I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's someone to talk to have them review it as well. Because from what I see, it seems like I do qualify, and I meet several of those criteria, and I can prove it. I have medical proof and everything.
Let me ask you some basic questions. What are the doctors saying about surgery on your back?
They have on my back. They other than burning, they want to burn the nerves and things like that.
Okay.
That's it. They haven't talked about infusion or anything like that. The only thing they do want to do, because I also have carpal tunnel in both my wrists, they've talked about doing surgery there. But I'm scared because I've talked to a few people which it worked great, and then there's some that didn't. So I've just been getting the steroid injections in my wrist.
Walk me through, when it comes to, ambulatory devices, walkers, wheelchair, cane, crutches, rollators, stuff like that. What are they prescribing to you?
The only thing that they've prescribed or they've told me to use is a cane, because if sometimes I'll lose mobility, because I'll have I get a pinched nerve because of the small openings. It's not the middle of my back is fine. It's just the sides where the nerves come down. That's where it's all pinched. So I mean, the discs they're degenerated, but it's not so bad where I need surgery. It's just the openings that come down the side. So I'll get like the sciatic pain. I have my legs, my feet fall asleep and stuff. And I don't know if that's part of the chemo that I had, because I was stage 3.
Okay.
So I did over a year. But also when I was when I was 15, I got hit by a drunk driver. And that's, I think, where all the issues are coming from. I didn't really have issues until my late 30s, but I think it's all in the same area that I was injured at.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Now that when
what level of pain medication are they prescribing you?
I take about 600 to 800 milligrams of ibuprofen for the swelling. They give me muscle relaxants, and they did give me gabapentin. I was on I was taking 3 times a day, 100 milligrams.
Okay.
But I didn't really like how I feel with that. I kind of tend to not want to take medications, but that's what they had prescribed to me, and I just haven't been taking that probably in a while now. It makes me too tired, and so I don't take any of that, but I do have it prescribed.
What type of job are you doing right now?
I do billing, so I'm always in front of a computer.
Okay, so sedentary base. Let me ask you this: when it comes to the job, are you earning more than $1,620 per month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm full time. If I want and that's the problem too. I've changed my time. I went from working 5/8 because that was just being too hard to 4 9s and a 4, and then now I'm at 4 10s. And it just seems like even though I'm having more days to rest, and that is helpful, it's also making it more difficult because I'm working more hours.
Yeah.
So I thought about going part-time, but they don't have part-time, and all the jobs that I've found that could probably be part-time, I just can't seem to be able to do it because it's just too much. I can't lift too much. And the thing is, sometimes I don't even get a warning. It just kind of just gives out. It's done. And then I have to lay down, and so I have to be very careful about that. So that's where I'm stuck. and most of my life I've always done like the medical type stuff. So I don't really have experience, because even when I was 16, that's where I started. I was doing medical records and working the front office and all that kind of stuff. But I just don't know where to go with this.
Let me ask you this. Do you have a short-term disability plan in place or a long-term disability plan in place?
I haven't tried for anything. Mm-hmm. I thought about it. I thought, especially in the wintertime, it gets the worst. So now that it's so cold, I thought maybe I can ask my doctor to give me some time off and then try that just to get some relief. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm just worried. I'm the only income, so I get worried about leaving and then finding out that I don't qualify, and then at my age trying to find another job.
Mission impossible. Yeah.
It's like I just feel like I'm stuck.
So if I were you in your situation, what I would do is create a timeline, and the timeline I would have set up. I would purchase short-term disability insurance. I would make sure that I basically had set up long-term disability insurance through the company. And then basically I would, go ahead and, knowing that filing for disability benefits and getting your first decision is going to take around 12 to 18 months, I would go ahead and make sure that, even if I was still working for, let's say, 3 to 4 months, even 5 or 6 months at this point, because the SSA is so far behind, I would go ahead and, basically begin the application about 5 to 6 months before ending the job. It's going to kill off a chunk of your back pay, but then I would go ahead and switch over to your short-term disability, long-term disability, ride that while, going through the adjudication for disability. Now, those things I asked you, the judges are going to be looking for those particular items. Listing level, you have me leaning against listing level. You have me leaning more towards grid out and vocational allowance based off of what you've said. But I would say, get those other programs set in place so that you have a monthly income coming in an insurance form. That way, while you're waiting to be found disabled, you're not in a horrible situation. But the other thing, too, if you can work, because it's going to take Trump's team 6 to 12 months to get the economy kind of back up and running, so you need to survive through that period as well, because, we don't know how low things are going to get. Every time Trump gets in, Pharaoh leveling events seem to happen. There could be a World War III. There could be, a new virus. There could be this, there could be that. So what I would say is this, keep the job rolling. I know you probably have a lot of mini accommodations that you do to make it work. Keep it rolling, but get those other insurances paid for and in place. That way you can have something to roll into while you're waiting to be found disabled.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, guys, Attorney Walter Hnot, we're going to take a couple more calls. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here. If you want to call in, it is the 407-279-1754. Remember, most people don't know that I'm going live in the morning. Usually I go live super late at night. We got another call right now. Let's get this rolling. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Go ahead and mute the computer on your side. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hi, Walter. Thank you very much. I ended up meeting a listing and getting Social Security disability in 2023.
Okay.
And, I had a generous attorney who took me, even though I was workers' comp.
Mm-hmm.
And met the listing. I think you said the magic door opened. And my attorney alerted me. Social Security made a mistake and they're paying you too much. I'm going to write them a letter telling them they didn't do the offset of comp correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So that started a lousy time. I did get a letter saying I'm like $7,000-8,000 in an overpayment situation.
Okay.
And so I talked to my attorney, and January of last year, I went to my local Social Security office.
Mm-hmm.
I had all this stuff. My attorney said Social Security miscalculated.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of like doubled what you're overpaid. You need to appeal that.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in January of last year. And now, December, I finally got a letter from the big regional processing center. Hey, we got your appeal. We're working on it. So
Good.
It's slow.
Yeah.
And I watch you, and you're talking about all these new things that come out from our former Commissioner O'Malley and everything that if it's not your fault, you probably don't have to pay. It looks like it's actually being worked on now. I know we can't go into the office without an appointment. I know they're not happening quickly. Should I call and do an appeal of my appeal or amend my appeal, or just wait till they process this and appeal? I don't know if you can appeal their decision or what.
Where are they at right now? You said that they've received it in the appeal. They're working on it. So you 561 did. I'm assuming the 632 didn't work for the waiver request. It sounds like it's over $5,000, so I doubt they're going to waive the whole thing, but you might be able to get it significantly down. Can you walk me through what was the legal reasoning for the overpayment? Give me a 2-sentence summary on that.
Was injured out of workers' comp, applied for SSDI. My SSDI attorney submitted financials once about workers' comp to Social Security. Once I got it, they calculated my payment with a workers' comp offset. Takes a chunk away because I can't stack benefits. And they gave me, and the person at Social Security made a mistake. She said they were paying me too much a month, and she notified them to let them know that. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And they recalculated it, not using her math, but whoever recalculated it said you owe 7, and she came up with you owe 3,500. She goes, "Looks like they somehow doubled it." And she goes, no disrespect to Social Security, but I've been doing this kind of law for 28 years.
Sure.
And she goes, they applied the wrong formula to you. And she wrote a wonderful letter with, here's the money he's got coming in from workers' comp. Here's your calculation from page, section whatever of the Social Security policy. And so she was kind enough to do that. They took all that together, went to the office, appealed, filled out a simple appeal, and they scanned it all in. And that was, like I said, January 24. And December of 24, I got a letter saying, "Hey, we got your appeal." I'm working 10, 12 months later. We're working on it. We'll let you know what we come up with.
Sure. Okay. So
slow times.
It's going to be really, really slow because basically they don't have enough personnel, and the personnel they have, they're kind of switching them over to doing CDRs right now. And also they're switching them over to basically, work on that 1,000,000-person backlog. So these appeals with these overpayments are important because Congress is on their butts about it, but they're not super duper ultra important. Also, from what I'm hearing, they're giving more preferential amount of treatment, like people working on it, to the higher level, $150,000, $200,000, overpayment individuals. Oh man, it's wild. How I do those little private sessions, when people hire me for those, I don't get people calling me about a $1,000, $10,000, $15,000 overpayment. I get calls about $80,000, $150,000. And up overpayment. So yeah, no, it definitely, it goes way up from what you have. Look, from what it sounds like, this was of no fault of your own, and that they did a miscalculation, and that they'll go ahead and eat it in total. But remember, you're going to have to wait a year, potentially to 2 years, for them to go ahead and finalize the adjudication. And keeping that in mind, you're going to be sitting there going, "What the hell?" But remember, both, the Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate, they don't want to see massive overpayments basically due with this system. They don't want that. What they want to see is that the overpayments are done or mostly processed, and the SSA isn't doing them anymore. So you are in the best time congressionally for having an overpayment for them to potentially waive it, get it done, move it forward. Things are just slow. So as a result of that, what I would say is, just hang in there. You are going through this in the best time for this program. So from my perspective, like, just hang in there, and in the not too distant future, you'll probably have a good result. But, if they do come back and say, hey, we still believe yada, 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 appeal that thing up, get it in front of a judge. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. So I will catch you a little bit later. Sounds like you've got this under control, and we'll go from there. But anyways, good sir, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, perfect. We're going to go ahead and take one more caller, and then we're going to go ahead and do the final video, and then and the reason why is I actually have a meeting with YouTube at 10 a.m. and it's 9:12 a.m. right now. So we'll do one more caller and get one more caller in. Let's see if we can get one more caller in. Let's see what we can do here. We just had a bunch of people try to call in, but those are probably people trying to get into the law firm. So let me just pop over here. Here we go. Okay, good. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube right now. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hey, Walter, my question is, I keep getting notices this year. I always get notices from Social Security, but this past year, I've gotten probably 4 or 5 notices saying that that a one-time payment was sent to me for like thousands of dollars that I was owed, but it wasn't deposited into my account.
Sure.
And I've been penalized along with my daughter and her SSI benefits for the months that they're saying I was over. And I've talked to them, and they at first said, yeah, there's something wrong with your file, and it's not the local office, it's the big office or whatever. And then like that was months ago, and then they came back and said that they're just waiting to hear back from the state now that my Quimby was active or whatever. But nobody's telling me what the one-time payments were for, which I think they were appeals that I filed that I had already paid in. But with the offices being closed to people and stuff, what do I do at this point? Because I'm not I didn't receive those big chunks of money that they're saying. And I didn't think that like back payments that were owed, you were penalized for if they were like they took my daughter's SSI away for those months that they say I got that money and I didn't.
Okay, so basically, just to make sure, have you already done an accounting by getting your bank statements and showing that where the money is traditionally deposited, you didn't actually receive those payments on the dates or around the dates that they claimed?
They didn't ask me for that. I told them that my Social Security account and my bank account showed that, and I've sent them my bank statements for one of the appeals that should have been one of these one-time payments, but they said no, that because they didn't need that because they were seeing it on their end too.
Okay.
But then they just said no, like it was correct. Well, what were those one-time payments? Where did they go? And why am I being penalized for something I didn't receive?
Right.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So here's the deal. Get together the accounting to show lack of receipt, because ultimately they're going to need that. And remember, they can access your bank accounts, but that doesn't mean that they're going to do the math properly. Make it easy for them. Yeah. It's kind of one of those gigs. The other thing too is that you want to submit that ultimately on an SSA 795 to them. Make sure your case number, social, all that jazz is on there. When you do the accounting, make sure you go back a month and forward a month from when they said that they potentially sent it to you. That way you're just covering all of your bases. And then also, don't be snotty in that, in that response to them. There's not many people at the SSA working right now. So when they get this.
No, I haven't been. I've been, I know that they're short-staffed and everything, and I've tried to be more than, but this is going on since April, and
yeah.
So it's just getting.
No, I hear you.
I need that money to survive.
Sure. So what I'm
taking out again.
Yeah. So remember, you'll be able to get this back in, the form of back pay if everything adjudicates properly. So, just hang in there, keep working it. If you want to reach to a higher group to nudge them a little bit, you might want to reach out to what's called the regional field office, which isn't always based in your state. Sometimes it's based in a different state, but all the local field offices report to a regional office.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me. They were saying it wasn't anything that they could do. It was the higher up office or whatever, and that was all computers doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So
whatever.
But that's definitely something you might want to check into as a potential option. So what I would say is this. Yeah, the regional field office. If you feel like they screwed up and they're trying to go after you or do it, is kind of underhandedly, then reach out to OIG. But this sounds like more something along the lines of what you should call out for the regional office. So, reach out to them. They'll give them a nudge to go ahead and push it forward. And then
how do I know what is the regional office? Where are they located?
You just Google SSA regional office, then you pick whichever grouping of states that you live in, and then basically from there, so like here, I'll give you a quick, what state do you live in?
New Hampshire.
Okay, I think you're going to be Boston. Let me check real quick. Let's see. Boopity boopity boop.
And I thought overpayments didn't count for 12 months. They didn't affect your SSI for 12 months. Is that correct?
It depends. It depends on a lot of little side rules. I've seen that used as a defense, but there's a lot of little side rules on that one.
Okay, because I've just never gotten a lump sum from them and had them penalize me for that before.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, so you are part of Boston Section 218 region. So you're going to look up basically Boston. And you're going to look up essentially Social Security Regional Office, and that should get you rolling in the right direction. Yeah.
Okay. And it was a 795 form you said, correct?
So SSA 795 is basically the form that allows you to make a statement of claimant, and you're going to put this information. That'll be your cover sheet basically, and then you'll put your bank sheets in there with a mini explanation on the cover sheet as to how there were no payments made by the SSA during that time in the form of an overpayment.
Okay. And is there a way to get like all the letters that they sent me? Nothing for these one-time payments says what they were for. Shouldn't that? I mean, yeah. If I call, should they be able to tell me what
they were for is important, but it's not as important as to how it was paid to you, because it could be for anything. It could be, for, lost payment, underpayment, it could have been for anything. But what's crucial is the way that they normally pay you, the way that they have access to send you money, never receive those funds. That way, at the end of the day, if the money was never sent, you never got it, ergo, you couldn't use it. Therefore, an overpayment never occurred.
And then they're telling me some of the money was used. What she said about the first few that I got was that money wasn't received because I owed them money for Medicare premiums, but it was only 6 months worth of premiums that I owed, and they took that out plus some. So I don't know how do I go about just go down the list and show?
Oh, it's an accounting. You have to show what you should have had. You got to Excel sheet this out. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, this is not a tough one.
It's so much work for, it's crazy.
You should see.
It scares me for my daughter because she can't do that sort of stuff. Even when she's an adult, she won't be able to,
I mean, you should see the ones that I get that are like, OIG doing their thing. When OIG gets involved and they're sending out investigators and there has to be an accounting, that's pages upon pages upon pages, multi programs where you have to cross accounting. Those are miserable, absolutely miserable. But this one's not that bad. You got one bank account that they're supposed to send it to, and then you got some crossover.
A lot of people don't have the capacity to, like it's hard to keep doctor's appointments and stuff, so let alone having to go back and do all this. But all right, thank you.
Absolutely.
I'll try and do that. And then I should fill out what was that? Reconsiderations for the overpayments that they're taking out as well?
Well, I mean, so have you received your first decision on this yet or no?
I didn't. I've just gotten the letters, and they kept telling whoever I was communicating with over the phone, just kept telling me to wait, and they were looking into it, but this has been almost five months since I started talking to her in August about it.
I hate to say this, but 5 months is like nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's literally,
Yeah, no, I know.
yeah. So like
I know.
you gotta understand, like, so you wouldn't appeal yet with a 561 recon. You would wait until you get a decision, and then if you disagree with the decision, then you would 561 recon. Yeah.
But I haven't. Okay. But they're taking money out.
Oh, I understand. But
Okay.
you know, they're working on the thing right now. So you reach out to the
Okay.
regional office, you know, poke them. They'll poke the field office, and the field
Okay.
office will
Even
respond
though
with the
they're still,
decision.
so I don't have to file anything. I shouldn't file anything right now.
Well, you should file an
795.
accounting. You should file an accounting. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 795 accounting. Yeah, but no, I mean, you should file, you know, a 632, you know, waiver.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
know.
meant.
Yeah, so
I should do that now
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it was 632, and then you want a 795, and then basically you need an accounting of bank statements and a cross accounting with the other programs, with the premium they take out, and then you're also, you know, reach out to the regional office and, you know, request status. And the other thing you can do, although it doesn't help a ton, it does help, I think, a little bit in the modern landscape because Republicans are so interested in, you know, using the SSA as a weapon against the Democrats. Reach out to your congressional members, Democrat or Republican, and just give them a short summary as to what's going on, and then as an attachment, attach your accounting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this something that's been happening, like, since they started using AI or something, or because I've like never had like this big of an issue, and they keep telling me it's not them, it's like computers that are doing it. Is this something new that I should expect more of, or?
People get overpayments every day, all the time.
Oh, yeah, I have. Just I've never gotten like these large sums and like not receiving them at all, or getting like, I don't know. It's just weird that many in one.
Yeah, it's like getting audited. You never know when it's going to happen. I just got audited by the state of Florida, and they went through all of my accounting and all that stuff, and came back and said I owed like $70-something, which, you know, cool, you know, you know, and that was the thing. Like they had like a whole, yeah, like I could argue this and I could argue that. I'm doing this, and I was, you know, and I looked through it, and I was just, right, and I was just like, yeah, well, because, you know, like I use ADP for payroll, and I have an accountant, so like, you know, I'm not really, you know, when it comes to the, yeah, like when it comes to the accounting, like it's kind of handled by programs and people, but that's how the SSA is too. They got programs and people, and you just got snookered by a program, and now they got to go back and take a look at it and, you know, re-change it and make it work, blah blah blah. But this happens to everybody. I mean, but
so it's going to become more common though, because they're not people going over it, right? It's computers.
There's not enough people to work the system.
Yeah.
To where is it going to become more common? Well, there's a ton more claimants out there. There's way more retired, way more disabled. So, yeah, it'll be more common, but I don't think it's going to be drastically more than they had back in the day, other than they just have zillions of more people, you know. But you know, I would say this. I would say get through this, get it done. You know, it's obviously a fluke that popped up, but this happens to people a lot, and it's sad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't end up on the street before they get it.
Right,
out, you know,
right.
That's happened before. Like, we haven't been able to pay our bills, and we've ended up not with nowhere to go, you know? Like,
right.
It affects people's lives. And
yeah.
I know the people that work there don't intend for that, but
right.
It happens every day. So
it's scary and sad.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Okay.
Yep. You as well. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. So that's the final call, basically, for today's live session where I answer questions for free. If I helped you out in any way, please consider going to Google Disability Resolution or Google Disability Florida, Disability Resolution Florida, and leaving some stars or throwing some stars up there. I will catch you all a little bit later. Please remember, I try to go live on Mondays and Thursdays, but I'm experimenting right now with different days because, as you can see, I'm very worn out and tired. So bottom line is, I would say this, you know, the law firm is extremely popular. So as a result, I'm trying to like make sure there's enough employees and everybody's trained and everything's moving and grooving. And then we do the YouTube thing. Yada, yada, yada. So the point is, I will catch you all a little bit later. If you do have a really big question, you don't want to be a part of the live, there's a mini contract below. And then I'm going to take about a 10-minute break. And then I'm going to get right into that next video. And then I've got to actually meet with a YouTube person that's set up by Google. So I will catch you all a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And then basically we will go from there. See you soon, and have a beautiful, beautiful upcoming weekend. Thank you so much, Attorney Walter Hnot. Stay warm, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.